I had made the decision that I wanted to change. I wanted to change myself, and I wanted to change like everyone else around me. And that's when I actually came up with my We Are Warriors project. Um I like dedicated it to like people like me and people like my brother, like everyone that like was suffering from mental illness, you know. That's when I kind of just threw myself into like my research on the topic, and um basically like just like the statistics and the facts on like Pacific Islanders that deal with mental illness. I wanted to change the stigma that they have on it, like the opinions that people had on it, how people viewed it pretty much. Um, it got easier for me accepting my depression and anxiety because of that, like because of my project per se. Um, I realized that I couldn't help people unless I helped myself first.
Hmm.
And that's kind of like what I did. When I had started my project, I had started it in 2017.
Hmm.
Um, but there was so much work I needed to do. Like, I had the information I needed, but now it was time for me to learn how to be vocal, you know, because like I told you, like, I just became quiet. Like, I was holding all my feelings in. Like, I never talked to anyone about it.
Hmm.
And um, I had decided that I I wanted to, and I was tired of losing people that I loved to it, because then, like, you know, I came across amazing people, and, you know, people that were like amazing and great people. But then I would find out that they were dealing with like, you know, depression, anxiety. And it hurt that I couldn't, like, it hurt that they felt like nobody understood. And then, like, I was like, while I was doing my research, like, I was like, dang, like, you know, like, I wasn't surprised at the lack of information that it had, but like, you know, I just found out so many things that it wasn't surprising, but it was just like, damn, like, that's crazy. You know, like, we do such like Polynesians do such a like big thing as like sweeping everything under the rug. And they don't realize how much it affects like the people that like we love and care about. And then like once like, you know, someone does like commit suicide or something, like it's always like it's too late. Like they start caring way too late. And so I kind of just was like, no, like I want to change this. So I started my project. Um, I had started like posting it like everywhere. And I just remember so many people, like, especially on Twitter, like so many people like reaching out to me and was like, you know, like, I love that you're starting this. Um, you know, I don't have anyone to talk to. Like, you know, I deal with it. I lost family members to it. I've had people who reached out to me that asked me, like, you know, more about it because they didn't understand it, and they had people that they loved and care about that was going through depression, anxiety, and they didn't know how to handle it. And so, like, when people started like reaching out to me, like, I was like, dang, like, I'm really making, like, you know, I'm really gonna,
Difference.
yeah, like, I'm really gonna make this difference. But then I started getting invited to like I started getting invited by people and like by schools to come and talk about the situation.
Yeah.
At the time, I was like all for it, but then like I took a step back because I realized like, yo, like, how am I gonna sit here and talk to these kids about, you know, it's okay to like share your story, be vocal, yet I couldn't share my own story. Like I wasn't vocal, you know? So I was
Hmm.
like, I'm like, these kids are about to be like, bitch, you're a whole ass hypocrite. Like what? Like, you standing there, you know, like so I had to try to teach myself to accept my own truth and everything I had went through. And then I had to teach myself how to be vocal about things and to like speak up, you know, cuz I was like, you know, if I teach myself this, then I can be the voice for those people who feel like that they don't have one.
Hmm.
Uh, it actually took a long time for me to like teach myself everything cuz honestly, like I said, like I started my project in 2017. I didn't have my first workshop and like summit until October of 2019.
Yeah.
Only because like I was like teaching myself, and it was hard, trying to teach you to accept your truth and your story, and like teaching yourself how to be more vocalized about it. Like it's hard, and people may think it's easy, but it's really not. And then it's like trying to teach yourself to be okay with sharing it with everyone was even harder.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's kind of what I did to help me get through my situation, like my depression, my anxiety was just me wanting to be part of, you know, the reason why people felt like they still wanted to be here. Like
Okay.
I didn't want people to like keep losing loved ones. I didn't want kids to like keep feeling so alone and like feeling like they had no one to talk to. So I don't know, this whole project that I did, like this whole movement, like I don't know, like my brother like always be asking me like, like, are you ready for like the backlash that you're gonna get? Because like you're gonna get it. Like, this is something that and our people don't accept this stuff. Like
Yeah.
you can't talk about shit like this and not expect people to like come at you with all the smoke. Like they finna
Yeah.
use and against you. They're finna use your past against you.
Yeah.
Like he was just trying to tell me like you need to be ready for all this backlash that you're gonna receive. And like I told him, I was like, look, I know because when I first started it, like people were like, what the hell? Like, shut up. Like you're just this little ass girl, Like
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, at the end of the day, there's nothing anybody can tell me about my past and try to like throw in my face that I won't own up to. Like there's nothing that I've ever done in my life that I will ever sit here and like be in denial about. And so it was like I had to explain to him as much heat as I'm gonna get from people, especially like the older generation. I was like, I know that what I'm doing, like, it doesn't need to, like, I don't need like credit. I don't need validation. I was like, I don't care about stuff like that. Like, as long as I know that I'm helping one person, that I'm saving one person, like, that's all that matters to me. And so, like, yeah, that, that's kind
No,
of that.
no. I mean, I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing, and the We Are Warriors. I want to ask you, where'd you get that name from? Was it from the movie?
No.
Oh, okay. No. You know what I'm talking about?
Um, well, actually, like, at first, when I first started my project, me and one of the girls I was friends with,
Yeah.
we we had started it together. We called it the Bulletproof Project. Um, only because we wanted like it was just called the Bulletproof Project just for like people to know that like like words hurt. Like your
Yeah.
words hurt. Like we aren't bulletproof. Like we're not immune to stuff like this. Like stop. Like it costs $0 a day to be kind.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and we actually like we're still friends. Like we still talk. But we decided that it was better for us to kind of just go like separate ways just because like it was starting to take a toll on our friendship
Yeah.
and that we both didn't want it to like ruin our friendship. So I kind of just went my own way. I came up with We Are Warriors just because like my brother who committed suicide, like words that he lived by were like, only the strong survive. Like those are words he lived by, those are words that he had tattooed across his chest. Like so it
Okay.
was those are words that I live by. And so like every time I'm going through a hard time, every time I'm, dealing with my depression starts acting up, I get through it because I constantly have to tell myself, like, thug it out. Just keep thugging it out. Like, you gonna get through this. Um, the whole warrior thing really came from like my brothers telling me, like, you know, you're not a quitter. Like, warriors don't quit. You keep fighting. You know,
Okay.
my brother, like I said, my brother, like, he's always just be like, only the strong survive. Like, only the strongest of the warriors are gonna get through it. So that's kind of just where the name came from. um I like started it like in honor of my brother,
Hmm.
just like me, but it's definitely like something that I do plan on like putting out there more. um After my first workshop, like man, like
So what do you do on these workshops? Like, you teach or talk a lot about, um, yeah, because I'm really interested into. I want to make everybody hear this. I want more people to know about this. I want people uh, uh, especially people out there that's going through mental health and depression. That, cause I really believe that you're doing a great thing. so, I love what you're doing. And also, and I also have so much love for you because I know how hard it is to be vulnerable and open up your story, especially the skeletons that we have in our life, in our past. Everyone,
Yeah.
I know, for me, like I've I've learned to do that for my whole life. I'm an open book. Like I've been doing social media for the last 3 years and just sharing my story, and my journey. So it's I remember it was really really hard in the beginning. Um, but over the years, when I don't know if you felt the same way, but as you share your story, as you become, and because a lot of times, like I feel like the biggest reason why I was so insecure growing up because I was ashamed of what happened to me in the past. But as I learned in life, and I started learning about my faith, also, like I really believe like that, like I told you earlier, everything happens for a reason. So when I look back at myself and all the things I was afraid of regret or like I was ashamed of, I saw that instead of a negative, it was a positive thing because those things made me who I am today. So now I'm proud of it, and I share that with everybody. So I know, but it was really hard to talk about the things I was like insecure about. Still, this even still to this day, like I still get like a little feeling of cringe. But I'm proud of my story, proud of how I grew up, and all the good things, and also all the the bad things I went through, because I wouldn't be who I am today. So, but I do definitely want more people to know about the Warrior Project.